Hey, what's up everybody? It's Royce and Battle Metal. Welcome to my channel. This is the beginning of part 12 of the diary build of my 1/8 scale Porsche 917K by IXO. And I want to go back to discussing where I left off on the last video about the fuel lines. I double checked, and this is from Detail Master, this line here, and they call it number 5 if you go to order it. I believe it measures like 1.7 millimeter on the outside, something like that. It's around there is what it measures. Let's just double check here once. .8 millimeter. I don't know what that converts to for standard or whatever, but I just know it's Detail Master number 5, I'm pretty sure. And then the brass tubing I was using is I think it's like 2.46 OD, somewhere around there, like basically say 2.5. So not sure where this ever came from. I've had this since forever, doing Hot Wheels and 1/18 scale customs. So anyway, so I cut off a section of the brass tubing, which is 3.4, let's just say 3.5 millimeters long. And what I've been doing, since the last video, I figured out what works great for frayed ends on the braided lines. There's a little bit of, I use Mr. Cement, liquid cement, and it works great. Get that out of the way so I don't spill it. And it works great. And then just take your fingers and smash it together and pull outwards towards you, and it seems to work great to keep it together till you can get this on there to make the collar. And then I'm gonna have to snip off a little bit of this nipple on here. We can pull this off. This fitting here is actually pretty decent. Does actually look like the one on the real car. I just need to cut a little bit of the nipple off because I'm not going to be using the long chrome tubes that they gave me with the kit. I don't think look very good. So that should be good. And then it's just this pressure fit on here for this junction point. This goes down to the metering unit. So this comes in at the top of the Y. And that's how I was putting them together. Let's find a dab of super glue. Oop, that was way too much. This is gel stuff, and it's okay, but the Loctite gel, but I gotta get that off. That's like way too much there. So that's how I'm planning on connecting them. That's how it connected to the other side, and it worked out really well. I think that goes, I think I have the right spot, right? Yeah. So it's supposed to go like right here, and that'll help till it dries. And I did double check on photos, and a lot of the cars, that fuel line does run between these two trumpets here. I think it's pulling back out. I gotta get that together. It's starting to dry. We'll just sit it up there until it dries. But I just thought I'd go over that real quick with you guys, because on the last video I wasn't sure what size this hollow brass tubing was. Like I said, I don't even know where this came from. I'm pretty sure it's from the K&S Metal Company, which if you look online, K&S Metal, they make all kinds of nice miniaturized tubing and whatnot for model kits and stuff. I think the brass looks a lot better than the chrome tubes that they give you, which I'll show here in a second if I can find them. They're okay, and that probably would work, but you'd have to cut them in half. They're way too long. They're double the length they should be to look accurate. So I can maybe use them for another project or something. And I was using my razor saw just by hand and cutting the brass tubing, that 3.5 millimeter in length. Next up is to install this X brace in the very back that'll hold the two coils. There are two more coils inside the cabin as well, but there's two that are going to be back here. It says take note about these two weird marks or creases that are in the bars there. Those notches need to be pointed to the back of the car. And then this side doesn't have that, but it's going to be a IM screw. So we got to go to the very bottom hole. And that is my kid talking in the background. One commenter was hilarious. Some of the comments I've gotten on the unboxing reviews I had to delete because people were just so nasty, but I guess people are that miserable that they feel there's a need to make a comment. But the guy said, you obviously do not have a girlfriend and you live alone and you're a loser. Essentially is what it said. I had to laugh so hard. So anyway, and then another person said that there's no way that I have a spouse or anybody in my life who loves me because of doing the way my basement looks with collectibles. Someone said there's no way a woman would ever allow that. So, which is actually wrong. There's plenty of women that don't really give a crap. As long as you know, if that's one of your worst vices, then it's not so bad. I can't get this to go pop in that bottom hole. Well, I'm probably going to have to loosen this screw here. So get that to kind of go back. But some of the comments, it's the only problem. I'm getting a lot of views on that unboxing of this kit video, but then it also creates, I guess, you open up the chances of getting more jerks, I guess, to make comments. There we go. So loosen that, pull the one screw out there. Now I still got to get, there we go. So I can go, where do I need IM screws? Where's the IMs at? You just got to have a thick skin sometimes too if you're going to be posting videos, because you get some really cruel people at times that are just, they got to be miserable with their life, that you feel the need to leave a nasty comment. I never quite understood it, but there's plenty of people out there that are that miserable, I guess, that they feel the need, if they're jealous of something or whatever, they feel the need to make a horrible comment. I just don't get it, but that's life, I guess. I figure I don't smoke. I really don't do any drugs or anything. I don't take any pharmaceuticals. I don't really have too many vices. I'm like, well, you know what? If I buy some die-cast cars, or I enjoy fixing up busted up die-cast cars or whatever, it's a hell of a lot more worse things you could be doing with your life than enjoying making a model kit. I mean, it's not harming anybody. So I don't understand. But I had to laugh. I'm trying to think of what was the other one. There was another one too. One person said that I'm a waste of space, which made me laugh. It's hilarious. And that this kit was a waste of money and also a waste of resources, I believe is what the hilarious. Just lash out at everybody. I know the kit is expensive, very, very expensive. Don't get me wrong. But you got to figure everything's relative. I mean, I've been working on this for a month and a half or whatever it is now. 6 weeks, I guess, 5 or 6 weeks I've been working on this kit. So everything is relative. It depends on how much you get out of it And, it's not like I'm going out to expensive restaurants and things. I mean, just everything's relative to what you spend your money on. And entertainment wise, I feel I've gotten my money out of this so far, personally. All right, so we got to get to the coils. Here's two coils here. They're Bosch Super Blues. So they give you some more cheesy vinyl tubing, which I'm not a big fan of. But we shall see. Might be okay to use, but I'll probably use my black telephone wire. I don't know what those little... It's wild, though. All the packaging is just absolutely insane. Like... But look, you got even a little tiny baggie holding these cool little fittings there. It's wild. So that can go in the garbage. These look pretty good. Little Super Blues. Bosch coils. I don't know how much of that I was off camera. Now I'm like wondering how much of that I was just off camera. Oops, I apologize. I was way off. But so these will go pointing inwards as I hit my head on the camera. So they'll go like this. And I will research coil packs too and see, as my kids screaming and yelling and talking on the phone. Not screaming, but yelling. That one went right in. But we shall see here if I can... That one's kind of loose. What I can do to super detail the coils up. All right, next up, I'm at page 186, and they have you install the two rear coil packs. I just haven't pressure fit into those braces for right now. And then I've found the pack number 56 for the two coils that go behind the driver. They are actually a little different. These have D pins on the shape. There's like a D pin shape on the back. Anyway, so next up, what we need to do here is the coils are actually pretty decent. They're not bad. They have some details on them. It says like Bosch transistor. It's like little labels on there. I wasn't too sure how accurate those black stripes were. Those they're rubber wrapped brackets. Basically, there's three different types of brackets that I could find that were used on these cars in the photos. There were plain metal ones without the vibration, isolation rubber strips or whatever you want to call it. Some had the black rubber like this, and then there was ones that were like this with a silver down. They weren't hollow in the middle. They were like metal, and that's how I was thinking about painting these, just to make them a little more interesting. Put silver down the center, and I still might, because I'm finding three different types that were used by the John Wire team. The coil packs themselves, I've never seen tops with them black like this, but I did find pictures of Bosch Super Blues. When you Google them, the blue coil packs, some have the black tops, but most in the period photographs I'm finding has the reddish brown Bakelite color, which is the same as used on the distributor caps. That's how I'm planning on doing these for. That's why I went ahead and pulled out the other two that go in the driver's compartment. So I'm going to do that. And how I mixed up the other color, which I wish I had more, or had them done at the same time as when I did the distributor caps, is I just used these three colors from Tamiya and mixed them up to give me that Bakelite reddish brown color, whatever that is you want to call it, right there. And I'm going to do that right now, and then we're going to have to drill out the centers for the wires and cut those nipples off and all that. So we shall see. Next up is drilling the centers out of each coil to the preferred diameter of whatever wire you're going to be using. I'm just using 1.1 millimeter phone cable, which I ripped out of my basement. And that is the same diameter as I used for the spark plug wires. So I'm going to have to just do everything exactly the same as I did before. Drill them out and fit the wire in there, and then I'll mount the 2 coils up and go from there. Another quick note is I like using a normally closed pair of forceps like this. That works great to help me hold something when I'm painting, like those brackets there in the middle. So it's really nice and a little easier than having them stuck to the alligator clips that I use a lot for drying purposes. But if it's something I'm trying to hold, that these work awesome. So I got the other ones all painted up and I'm letting them dry. So we shall move on to mounting them on the back and start routing the wires. The other thing I want to note is I'm not sure why I was thinking I had black phone wire. I do not. I have this, I think it was from an old cable. I mean, it's ribbon cable, but I think it was from an old printer maybe or something. But so I'm stripping the black wire out of that, and there's also some nice, the brown is really nice, which represents what the Germans would use for ground cables. So that's nice there to have brown. But I think it measures like 0.98 millimeter, the wire. It's not as bendable as the phone wire had, but it definitely does sort of stay in shape, whatever that you put it in. It doesn't feel, it's not as thick, I should say, the inside. It's more rubbery, I guess, feeling than the phone cable I had. But I think it'll work out. I think it'll work out fine, though, for these coils and some of the smaller wiring. Okay, for the ends, to give a little bit more character, instead of the wire just being stuck into the coil, I added a little bit of small piece. It's 1 millimeter shrink tubing to the end, and then I heat that up a little bit, obviously, so it tightens to the wire. And then I think it looks a lot better than just having the wire stuck in there. You know, it gives a little bit of appearance of a boot there. So this will be turned like that when it's done. So I think it'll work out really well. All right, so I'm wrapping up the 2 back coils. I don't know why, but I had a heck of a time getting the 2 wires into the distributor cap. The holes were plenty large. I think it's just this type of wiring from the ribbon cable is just like kind of soft and gooey. I shouldn't say gooey, but kind of soft and not really cooperative compared to the harder copper core red wire there I have that came from landline wire out of my basement. Anyway, that was really super, super frustrating getting them down in there. I was even using tiny tweezers or forceps, depending on where you live and what you call them. But I think I'm done for now on there. These 2 coils will go behind the driver and detailed those up. And now we will move on to packs 41. And I think I have, what's the other one here? Pack 42, which is the rear suspension. And oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is they do give you, I think I might have picked them up in the one other shop, I didn't really discuss it, these little T-fittings here that are plastic are really nice, but they're for the rubber lines. I didn't know they give you rubber lines for the rear brakes. So they want you running them back to each side, then it'll go in this little hole, the T-fitting, and that's the junction point on each side. The reference I was finding, it looked to me like it was only one brake line coming from the front of the car to go back to probably a balancing valve, or, you know, to go to the rear calipers. I haven't found any reference showing a line on each side of the car yet. So it doesn't mean it is or isn't yet. I don't know, but I have one hard line run so far back to here, and I just got to figure out how I'm gonna distribute, you know, to go route soft lines in the back to the hard line. And I didn't do the front ones yet either. I had mentioned that before. I got to get that figured out. But we have the hard lines all up front there. They're all in place. And as far as I can tell, look like I might have them routed correctly. So we shall see. My kid is off of school today because of the icy storm. So you probably hear her talking in the background. So we shall see here. I'll move on to the next pack, and maybe I'll go ahead and build that on camera. I know some of you guys said you're kind of disappointed in the build series because I'm not really technically building anything. So I've been trying to do some things on camera, but it's very difficult to get everything on camera. Having a full-time job and taking care of other things in life, it's extremely difficult to get everything on video. And it just doesn't really pay. Now, I do have that thanks tip button at the bottom. You're more than welcome to tip me. That is much appreciated because I basically don't get paid anything to do these. And so anyway, that's where I'm at with that. But I'll be back in a little bit. All right. All right. So let's get started here. Got packs 41 and 42. So here we go. Page 190. Looks like I'll need the rear shocks wherever they're at. One thing I find wild is this is all metal. I thought these were plastic. So this radius arm and upper link is metal, and this other radius arm is metal. And of course, all the upright is metal. Everything here, I don't think any of this is plastic. That might be. Nope, that's metal too. Yep, that's metal too. That's crazy, all that. I gotta find the shock absorber though. Bottom 41H. I gotta find that. I don't know what I did with them. That's not good. All right, so to give a little update here on page 193, kind of sucks where I was at earlier, but right here I'm missing. Not sure if I mentioned it before or not, but I'm missing this part 42G, and that would go up right there, I guess. Like I did the other side over there. You can see the ear sticking out on it, the L-shaped piece. So I'm missing that. I did contact IXO Collections in France, and it took about a day that they got back to me, though, their customer service. And they're supposed to be going to be mailing this, probably the whole packet, I would say 42, mailing out the missing part to me. So I'm not sure if that's going to be coming from where, but I'd assume France. So that sucks, but I'm going to move on here, and we will be starting on, got this all done on camera. Issue number 43 on page 196, and that is putting together some drop links or whatever here. This bag's actually not labeled. And I did go back and review my video clip of me opening up that other bag, the 42 bag, and it is not anywhere in there. I went back and looked, and it doesn't, when I dump it out, I don't see it on my book here, but that's where we're at with that. I'll start working on this. I mean, everything's metal, which is just crazy to me. It still blows my mind. Now, these might be plastic, and how everything is like bagged up, it's pretty crazy. These little brackets here, no, they're metal too, aren't they? Yep. Put them against my teeth, they're metal. All right, so we will get started here. Let's see here. Which one is this one? This has a big R here on there, and this has a big L on there. So it doesn't look like That doesn't really matter, I guess, which way what goes where there, but yeah. Come on. Jeez Louise. Butterfingers. Just to get it started is the pain. But you're self-tapping, so you are creating the threads as you ram these in there. So you gotta get kind of forceful on some of them. So we need an EM screw. Okay, finally found the baggie of EM screws. Looks like I need 3 of them for this set of instructions, and put the other ones back so I don't lose them. Holes looked way too small, but it's going in. I don't know if I can fit in a 10-pound bag in a side of a 5-pound bag size hole. Whew, found them on the floor. Still universal joints. Because as I say, I thought I saw them in the bag before. I remember looking. That does not want to go in there. That one does not want to screw in there. It's almost like, is that too small? Let's try a different screw. It doesn't look like it's centered or something there. As I just stabbed myself. There we go. That one's going in. It's going to use some LP11 silver and cover those screws. I had done that on the back of the other part of them before. Gonna do that again, just so the black screws aren't so obvious. It's not perfect, but definitely looks better than the black screws. Let that dry. It's going to touch up some of these screw heads. All right, off camera, at least I think it was off camera, I had added miniature nuts on a lot of the screws to give it some visual interest so it looks a little more realistic. Some of these screw heads, there's not a whole lot you can do with them to hide them, I don't think. I mean, you'd have to just completely replace all the Phillips head screws. Actually, I want to add nuts to there and there. I'll have to do that then. And I'll probably go in and do a light weathering, much like I did here with the front end on prior. So next up, it's asking you to put everything together. It looks like. Sucks I don't have that one piece that I need. Alright, so I got this all wrapped up and did some light weathering on it. And it looks like it's going to be mounted from underneath. And the half shafts are stuck in there. So now we just got to get it flipped over, and that should be real fun. Get it mounted up. Goes the fan. So it takes a JM screw. We gotta find one of them. Where are they at? To go in that area. Okay, flip it back over. It's starting to get kind of, definitely getting bulky. All right, so we got to put that other half shaft in over there, so don't forget. Doesn't want to go in the hole there, I don't think. Let's try this side. It's getting to be a lot of stuff in the way. So this goes there, but it doesn't seem like it wants to go over to there. So what kind of screw does that go? I think I might have at the wrong spot. Maybe. So that goes there. Oh. Deal with that later. Alright, I gotta figure out here what screws are going where here. JM screw up here in the front. Boy, that's not easy getting in there. The hole is like way off. I don't know what I could do to fix that. The hole was like way off. Interesting. What does it do with the screw? There it is. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's like way off. Something ain't right with that. So I put my little poker through and I'm kind of holding it, but you son of a gun. And I real crazy about that screw right there. I might be replacing that then with different hardware, but we'll do that for now. Get an OM. Need an OM for back here on this side. Yeah, I don't really like the screw on this side. I think I might take it out. I think it looks kind of ugly. So I don't have screws there because I don't like the way they look. It looks really bad, so I think they'll be pretty obvious. So let's see, what do we got? 2 JM screws coming up here for the underside. Probably would you need to put these in there because this seems really secure. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna put those. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave them out because they look kind of, I don't know if I like the look of that. I might take this back apart and just put some super glue on there, but it is really sturdy. It's not, it's got a little bit of side to side movement, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Doing the rear anti-roll bar, which is over here. But see, I'm missing this. Oops, crap. Just spilled all that. I'm missing that other ear, this piece here, which the company hopefully will send it out to me, but I don't know. And then I guess those 2 brackets take IM, 2 IM screws. And then this will go up to like there, like that. So I don't know if I'm going to use the little, I might just super glue these on there, I think. Okay, let's see what screws I need for the ends. KM. All right. Sweet. That's it for the rear end. Except for the doing the brakes, which I guess I could probably work on next. I'll let that all set up and I will be back. All right, super glued those in the back there. Super glued a fake nut on the outside so it looks better and looks kind of more realistic. Here's what the actual car kind of looks like there. Now that's I believe a magnesium chassis, or no, it's what, I don't know, all polished aluminum, I guess. Either way, you can see that there's a nut welded on there, but that's the Martini Longtail. But anyway, back to this car. So I have jammed a paintbrush in each side to kind of hold that together till everything dries. So it's definitely looking more complete now, I would say. I also went ahead and added a few more nuts to the front suspension parts to give it some visual interest and to make it look a little more realistic. You can kind of see them there. If not, I'll try to point them out here with the paintbrush, like there and down here, and where's the other one is? Back there, here, and up at the top there. So I think it definitely looks better to add some miniature nuts on the ends there, so it's just not completely naked. And I wasn't sure if I ever did show my hard lines. They're just aluminum wire for the brake lines. Slowly getting there. I also added some fake nuts. I'm calling them fake nuts. They're actually real nuts, but miniature nuts on the ends there of the anti-sway bar linkage, or I should say with the bracketry there. And then once again, you can see the ear I do have and the part that I don't have over on that side. So hopefully that'll come in the mail eventually from France or wherever it's coming from. I think I'm going to leave off part 12 right now because everything is completed for now in the back as far as I can go, except for the brakes. So I think next up will be putting together, which I'll probably just start on part 12 because this is going on for a while, this video. But basically the back end is all done and ready to be enjoyed. I don't know if that's the word for it. It made no sense. But ready to be to move on, I should say. I'm getting tired, apparently. But I think adding those 4 nuts there at the anti-sway bar really looks freaking cool. I just think that alone, just adding some of the fake hardware really just gives a lot of extra interest, I think, to make it look a little more realistic, and maybe no one else will notice it, but you'll know it's there and be proud of your work. Definitely a little bit more, I mean, it would be extremely time consuming to drill everything out and add hex hardware to everything. I think it would take you forever. I don't really feel like doing that because I don't see who's really going to notice it when, like I said, eventually I'm thinking about putting this down inside of a coffee table. So it's not like anyone's probably going to say, oh, look, you did this to it or you did that. No one's going to care, really. They're just looking at the outside and go, oh, that's cool. I mean, no one really cares. I care, but, and that's as, you know, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, I think that's all that matters. So anyway, I'm going to leave off there, part 12. And if you guys like this type of content, you want to give me a like, share, whatever, that's great. Be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And that I'd really appreciate more than anything is if you add yourself. And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I will see you guys later. You guys have a good night. That was a long one. Guys, have a good night. Talk soon. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. I love hearing from everybody, even the whack jobs that love saying that I suck and I'm a loser. They're fun too. Keeps me going, actually, the negative comments. I'd appreciate all comments. It doesn't matter to me what you want to say. I think it's great reading through everything. All right, talk to you guys soon.